I replied. We've been preparing for what comes next our entire lives. The question is whether we're finally ready to stop being afraid of it. He was quiet for a moment. What do you need? Nothing. Just remember this conversation when they try to isolate us. Remember that we chose dignity over comfort. 2 days later, I was on a plane to New York. My foreign minister tried one last time to convince me to soften the message. Mr. President, we could acknowledge their concerns while still maintaining our position. I looked out the airplane window at the Atlantic Ocean below. Minister, do you know why they're so desperate for an apology? To maintain diplomatic relationships? Number. Because apologies create precedent. If I apologize for telling the truth about Gaza, then every other African leader learns that truth is negotiable. If I apologize for calling out French interference, then interference becomes acceptable. If I apologize for demanding dignity, then dignity becomes optional. I turned to face him. This isn't about me. This is about establishing that Africa will no longer apologize for refusing to be victimized. When we landed at JFK Airport, something unexpected was waiting for us. Protesters, not against us, for us. 200 Africans living in New York had somehow learned about my arrival. They held signs reading, "Africa doesn't apologize and Trey Ray speaks for us." As my motorcade passed, I rolled down the window. A young woman, probably university-aged, ran alongside the car shouting, "Make them hear us, President! Make them hear us!" That's when I knew this wasn't just about one speech anymore. This was about something much larger. I walked into that chamber and the air was thick. Delegates from over 100 nations. All eyes on the young man from Burkina Faso, the one they said was too bold, too loud, too African. Some were smirking, others didn't even look up. But I found my microphone, adjusted it once, and began. I didn't waste time. Before you ask me to apologize, let me ask you something. How many times have you apologized for what you've done to Africa? Silence. Did Belgium ever apologize for what it did in the Congo? Did France ever apologize for massacres in Algeria? Did Israel ever apologize for training militias that destabilized our region? I saw the cameras zoom in. I saw the delegates shift uncomfortably. Then I continued. You accuse me of inciting hatred because I spoke truth. But when the bombs fall on Gaza, you call it defense. When thousands of African children starve because of your trade policies, you call it economics. When we rise, you panic. Every word was intentional, every pause calculated. I reminded them that Africa was no longer afraid, that we didn't need permission to defend our dignity. The West speaks of peace while exporting war. The West speaks of democracy while supporting coups. The West speaks of aid but delivers debt. At one point, the French delegate stood up and walked out. Good, let him walk. Because this wasn't just a speech, this was a reckoning. But then I did something they weren't expecting. I pulled out my phone, right there at the podium of the United Nations General Assembly. I want to read you something. I said, a message I received this morning from a 2-year-old girl in Ouagadougou. The chamber was dead silent. She wrote, Mr. President, my teacher says you're going to America to speak for us. Please don't let them make